Hi, guys, this is Kate,
And Molly. And in this episode, we talk about a stormy cheer comp weekend.
being humbled and advocating for your kids in school.
This
This
is
is
Kate
Kate
and
and
Molly
Molly
Pod,
Pod,
and
and
we're
we're
not
not
dying,
dying,
we're
we're
moms.
moms. Are we just going to hold the mics like this time?
I think it's a great idea to just hold the mics like this. We could always test and see what it sounds like, though.
It's been our biggest piece of feedback is that,
The sound.
yes,
I think we will hold them like this, and it'll be a great idea.
it could be fine
Hopefully, we sound super nice and soothing.
and not like a pterodactyl.
Right.
Oh, have you ever met a woman that sounds like a pterodactyl?
Actually, yes, I have.
And it's like, I have to get away from you.
Please stop talking. Thank
Oh
you.
gosh, it's the
Nothing against
worst.
you, but yeah.
No, but
Good day.
also you sound like a
Yeah.
pterodactyl.
Yep. Yes, I have been around people like that.
Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Want to talk about the weekend?
We just came back off of a very exciting cheer weekend.
Yeah.
So, how do you prep for cheer weekend, like before we go out of town? Or do you prep? I don't really prep.
I used to prep.
Yeah.
It used to be like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And probably like at the beginning of the season, I do a better job of prepping. Like I like to get Molly like a comp gift.
Mm-hmm.
I usually get her a new set of pajamas and
Yeah.
some candy and like just a cute little gift bag.
Yeah. I feel like also the same, like the first couple comps we did, I did get Iris new pajamas, and like
Yeah.
we were all packed the day before we left, and it's all a thing, like telling everybody in the house, we're leaving this day, we're leaving this day,
We're
we're
leaving
leaving
this
this day.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And now
time's never good for me, but I do try.
that's fair. That's fair.
But
Yeah, this one, I think Michael asked me every day, even that Friday morning that we were leaving, like, what time are you leaving? What time are
mhm,
you leaving? And my only answer could be sometime after you leave for work
but before you
and
arrive
before you
home,
get home.
that's always the time that I leave,
Yeah,
according to my husband. Yeah,
it feels
after
fine.
after you have gone, but before you come back home.
Mhm.
This I didn't do too bad. My goal was 2
Okay.
this Friday, and I left at 3.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I was pretty proud of myself.
that is good. My goal was 1:30 and I rode with Mallory
Mm-hmm.
and she pulled up right around like 1:25 and then we had to stop. She needed mascara.
Yeah.
So we stopped at Ulta and got some. She bought the girls' face masks and
Oh,
all kinds
fun.
of like fun things for them for the weekend. And we made our way down there. So we were pretty close to goal. But Guy took the kids to school that morning and then came home and packed.
Yeah. I did the same.
It's,
I was like rush packing on
yeah.
Friday.
Now, I will say after every comp, the week after every comp, I do wash uniforms
Mm-hmm.
and organize everything back in like our cheer travel bag. So I keep all of her
Absolutely.
uniforms, her hair pieces, her makeup, all of that just stays in one bag
Mm-hmm.
in my closet where no one can get to it
Yep. Or mess
and
anything
destroy
up.
it. Yeah.
When I get back from a comp, I am very much the person that is like, I must unpack everything, get all the dirty clothes in the laundry immediately, put all my toiletries away, empty these bags and put them up in my closet. I can't. I am like, I have to put my stuff away.
So shameful. It's Tuesday. We got back Saturday night
Yeah,
and my stuff is still packed.
that's
Like
fine.
I've gotten out my toiletries and my
Mhm.
straightener, but all of our clothes,
Yeah,
everything's
it's
still.
like an OCD thing for me, I think, that I
That it's
have
a
to,
good
but
thing.
it's so opposite because I will wait to the last minute to pack. Like I'm taking forever, but when I get home, I am unpacked so
Oh
quickly.
no. Yeah. I need to unpack. I actually this morning as I was getting dressed, I was like, "Oh, that outfit I wore on Friday was so cute. I
Hmm.
could wear that today." And then I realized I can't wear that because it's still packed and not even close to the washing machine yet. So
Hilarious. Yeah, that's the first thing I do is grab all the dirty clothes
mm,
and put them in the wash.
I need to be better about that.
No, it's fine. Although, granted, Saturday did get pushed back because of things we'll
Yes.
talk about. So we got home kind of late on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I did leave the bags in my car. And then Sunday morning, I went and put
And
everything
got it.
away and started laundry. But I wasn't going to start laundry Saturday night before going to bed. Like,
No, it was late.
yeah, so there's no point. But that was something I left the bags in the car. I was like, we're going to bed.
See, I did bring the bags inside,
Mm-hmm.
but and they're upstairs. We've made it all the
You
way
right, you
upstairs.
took the extra trek all the way up the
It's
stairs.
just not quite all the way. I will say one thing when Molly and I get back, Michael's good about like sending him and Jake outside to like
Mm-hmm.
get the bags and help us inside and everything like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
I don't usually have to be the one to carry them all,
yeah.
but
Skylar's also good about that, but we got home a little later because we didn't have to pack up that morning because we had our space for the rest of the day. So we went back and loaded up the car after the comp ended.
yeah.
And then we had to stop for food, which was a whole nother thing. That
Oh
took
gosh.
forever. Long story short, by the time we were home, both my babies were sleeping. So I was like, Skylar, come carry Iris
Carry baby
and I'll get the
Skylar.
baby. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So, anyways, it was a fun weekend.
it was. Um, so it was exciting. We stayed at different places, you and
Right.
I. You stayed,
I stayed at the villas.
so the the place we had the comp is a big resort and
Mm-hmm.
casino venue.
Yeah.
Um,
But I was right next door.
yeah, so you
Less than
kind
a
of stayed
5 minute, like 3 minute drive, maybe.
yeah, you stayed behind in condos while I
Mm-hmm.
stayed at the resort property. And we had been, so I am very like meh when it comes to inclement weather.
Right. Same.
Um, I do get a little nervous at times, but our next door neighbor, I don't know if you know this, our next door neighbor is the weatherman. Like he works for the National Weather
Oh,
Service.
really? Here?
Yes.
I think you did tell me that once.
Um,
A snow day a while ago.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if like I feel like the news weathermen, like that's where first of all, that's where they're getting their information from.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's like, let me amp it up a little bit. That could very not be true, but
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, like if something happens to me, by the time I'm telling the story, I'm going to amp it up a little bit.
Why would you not?
Why would you not? It's the ratings.
Right.
So that's how I feel about the news weatherman. So if Aaron, our neighbor, doesn't tell me to be nervous about the weather, then I'm not nervous
Right.
about the weather. Well, Aaron, the weatherman, did not know that we were going south
Mm-hmm.
for
The weekend.
the weekend. And at about 5 o'clock in the morning, every phone in that hotel went off with a weather alert.
Yeah. I did hear the weather alert.
Yeah, from the phones that you had.
Yeah.
And there were just three phones in our hotel room that went off. But like I am confident I heard everyone within like a 5 room radius,
Right.
their phones. And so I get up and we're staying in a room with another mom and her daughter. And her daughter went to immediate freak out mode.
Mm-hmm.
Molly was also like,
What's going on?
what is happening, mom?
Mm-hmm.
And we had the bed furthest away from the windows, me and Molly did. So Lila came over and was sitting with Molly. I got up and went to the bathroom and everything. Because as a mom, if you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Right. Gotta go.
the
Gotta go.
first thing you're doing. Yeah.
Yep.
And I looked at Mallory and I was like, do we need to like leave the room? And I'm kind of thinking through it. Like it's a really old building, like
Mm-hmm.
made out of old, like it is an old
Yeah.
sturdy building. If a tornado hit, the windows may like bust out, but I was thinking, oh, we could go in between like the wall and the bed
Mm-hmm.
and we'd be fine if the windows busted out, like whatever. But Mallory was like, we don't need to leave. And then they come over the intercom and they're like, We have been put under a tornado warning. A watch isn't as bad as a warning, right? The warning,
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
I'm pretty sure the warning is like it could
It could
happen
happen.
or it's most likely going to happen. The watch is like, let's be aware that
Right.
there could be something.
Potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there must have been a tornado warning. So the lady comes on at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you never know that there's like intercom systems in these hotels until they have to
Right.
use them. And they're like, can everyone please make their way down to the basement? We've been put on this, whatever.
So they were very calm about it. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Um, and obviously, like we knew a lot of people staying there. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
the teams stayed there. So the person across the hall from us, her and her man were staying there. Her situationship.
Stop! Don't do that.
I did. I did. I'm calling him out. I hope he hears it.
I hope he hears it
I
too.
hope he hears it. Actually, just as a side note, let's talk about that because he wants her to propose. And I
Get
think that
out of
that's
here.
I think that's bullshit, Kyle. Do you hear me?
You said his
I
name.
said his name. I did. She deserves better
She
than
does
that.
deserve better.
Anyway, um they vibe and they're totally
They
cool
do.
people.
I
And
actually, side note over here too, I read their birth charts for them. Super compatible. Get it together, sir.
I
That is
love that.
all.
Right? I if if you were dating her, I just come
I'm
on,
like, here goes
Kyle.
another sidebar. Sorry, everyone. At the last out of town comp, we were all at the water park together, and I did tell her, I was like, "You look so good. If I were into women like that, you are my type of woman." And I literally said that to her. So again, get it together,
He
sir.
needs to get it together. So, um, she came and like knocked on our door and was
Hmm.
like, "Are you guys coming?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get a sweatshirt on. Like I didn't
Right.
want to just whatever."
Hmm.
Um, and she goes, I looked at Kyle and was like, "Are we okay in here?" And he was like, "Absolutely not." And he's a firefighter. So I was like, "Okay, well, I guess we're
Let's
going to
go.
go." So anyway, we made our way down to the basement and we had to sit down in the basement for like 30 minutes with everyone else at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Did it feel like 30 minutes? Did it feel forever? How, like, did it feel
Um,
quick?
it was okay. I will say it was okay.
You know,
30 minutes at 5 o'clock in the morning is never
it's not okay.
quick.
Right.
Um, but we found a bunch of other people from the gym and kind of sat with them.
Yeah.
And the resort brought us down like bottled water
Well, that's
and
nice.
put it down there for people to drink, which was, yes, very helpful. I did drink quite a bit of that because you also wake up just feeling dehydrated.
And it was probably really hot
It
because
was
the
toasty.
power. Did you lose
So
power?
we did lose power. There were backup generators. Our side of the hotel, we had power. There
Hmm.
were parts of the hotel that did not.
Yeah.
Um, and then we got back to our room shortly after 5:30 and trying to back to sleep, like it was really hard. And I had said, I probably just shouldn't go back to sleep because I feel like when I wake up, I'm going to be more tired
I agree with that.
than if I just stayed asleep.
Yeah.
Well, stupid me, I did go back to sleep, but my phone was blowing up.
Hmm.
So they did delay the comp
Yeah.
because the convention center was out of power.
Right.
So they started late, and I was like, well, at least we get to sleep in a little bit.
Hmm.
And then um, my family was getting up around 6 o'clock here to go play baseball. So I had texted them to tell them that we were like evacuated to the basement. And then when I was ready to go back to sleep is when they all got up and were reading the text messages.
Oh,
So like our little family group chat was blowing up.
that makes sense.
And then right, I was like just asleep and my phone rings.
That's the worst.
It's the worst. And
Gosh.
it was our friend Danielle, and she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Oh yeah, because she didn't stay.
She
She
didn't stay
drove.
down there, and I was like,
Hmm.
"I'm fine." And she gets up super early and she gets up super early for work, and she
Yeah.
tries to maintain that through the weekend. And she was like, "You don't sound okay." And I was like,
I'm
"That's because I'm
sleepy.
trying to sleep."
I'm so sleepy.
So then I hung up the phone, and about 35 minutes after that, Maisie called so that I could talk to her before a game. So I, and I should have, after all those times, I should have just stayed up, but I went back to sleep and slept until like 8. And then I was really tired throughout the day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It was a long day.
it was an eventful, like
Hmm.
so eventful.
I'm honestly so thankful that I was not staying in the resort
Yeah.
because my child has extreme anxiety. And like she would have been full blown crying, tears, we're going to die, breathing like like whole thing. And then the baby would have woke up to people stressing out.
Yeah.
She'd have been screaming. Yeah, I'm so thankful. All I did was I heard my phone and I heard the thunder, but I was like in a sleep awake state. And I did hear the window rattling, and I had a thought. I was like, should we all go to the bathroom downstairs and get in the tub? And I was just like, no, we're fine. Like, went back to sleep. None of the girls woke up. The baby didn't wake up. My sister stayed with us, and she said she was awake for 2 hours, apparently stressing because she says the walls in the villa were shaking. And I was like, well, if it was that bad, you should have come and woke me up.
Like, does she know when to come and wake you
Yeah.
guys
Well,
up to
she sent
get?
me a text message around 5, I want to say, or 4:45, and she was like, hey, are you up? No.
Nope.
I'm not up.
9 o'clock rolls
But
around. I am now.
yeah, no, I got up about 6:30 because the person I was staying with, we was initially planning on
Mhm.
getting up and then it got pushed back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And my phone was dead. We had no power because I had given my charging block to one of the little girls that was staying with us. So
Oh,
I
I didn't
didn't,
know your villa went out of
yeah,
power.
we didn't have power from like, I want to say 4 because my biggest complaint was I was so hot because like we didn't have air, heat, like, yeah, so
Nothing.
hot. And I was sleeping, alongside the baby.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my biggest complaint was it was hot. We had no AC. When I woke up, my phone had 5% because it had been going off so much. Like, I
Yeah.
think I went to bed and it was at 30 or 40%. But because, all the group me's, all the
Oh
text
my gosh.
messages, all the, and I called my husband at like 8 and I was like, hey, we have no power. My phone has 5%. There was like a tornado warning. Everything's fine. But like, you probably won't be hearing from me for a while because I don't know when I'm going to be able to charge my phone. So,
Always find me. I always have battery packs.
well, I told him if I really needed to, I could have started the van and I had a car
Sure.
charger, but we
Yeah.
made it work. So, yeah, we lost power.
Hmm. Okay.
Yep, had none.
When did you get it back, did you say?
A little after 9.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was
Well,
before I drove my friend and her daughter to the hip hop comp. We
yeah.
had power.
Impressively, like they were ready,
Yeah,
so without power.
yeah.
Love that for
I
them.
mean, yeah, we got it. It was around 9,
Yeah.
but Iris did say she woke up in the middle of the night and it was dark, so she couldn't see anything when she went potty. But it had to have been after the storm because she didn't mention anything about, thunder,
Yeah.
rain, walls shaking. She was just like, I went potty and it was dark. The lights didn't work.
But didn't
So,
wake you up.
no.
My kids would 100% woken
Oh,
me up.
really?
Oh yeah. Mom, the light's not working. Why isn't the light working?
Yeah, no, she went potty in the dark. That's what she said.
Love that.
So, she's pretty independent though.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's the oldest.
She has big
Well, I
sister
guess she
vibes.
has,
She does have an older brother,
yes, but
but
she
yeah.
does have like oldest mentality.
She really does.
She's the oldest girl.
She is the oldest girl. Yeah. And she's she has leadership skills.
Yeah.
I don't like to use the word bossy, but you
Oh, I'll say
she
Molly's bossy. She's one of the babies, but she's bossy.
yeah.
But yes, great leadership skills. Like she will be a great leader one
Yeah,
day.
that's how I feel about Iris. Like she will congregate girls together.
So
And
will
I'm like,
Molly.
as long as we're doing like good things
Yes,
and
please
not
don't be a
being
mean
mean, don't
girl.
exclude anyone, bring the people together. It's funny because when she's with her cheer friends, she will pull groups of girls together and we'll make up dances and like act
Molly
like
does
she's a little
that.
choreographer.
Yeah.
So it's
Molly's into
super
like
cute.
CapCut. So I don't allow my kids to post anything on the internet
Hmm.
because I
You
think
never
people
know.
on the internet, while we are on the internet,
Right.
I do think that there are weird people on the internet.
There
And
absolutely are.
there's weird people in the world, not just on the internet. But I'm like, let's not post things out there. Um, I don't post my kids on TikTok because it's not private.
Yeah.
Um, but she likes to like record CapCut videos and send them to me. She'll like screen record her video and send it to me
That's cute.
because she's funny
I think it's cute.
and she'll teach other girls, like, let's do this dance.
Iris will like record videos on her kids' messenger and then send
Mm-hmm.
them to like her friends and family members and
Yes.
me and yeah.
Molly will send things through Kids Messenger.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so how was the comp weekend? Look at me. I'm like,
Yeah. I feel like we should do your perspective first because mine
of the comp weekend?
was really humbling.
Honestly, I feel like my daughter's team did really well and I'm super proud of them. So her team went up against four other teams. So there were five altogether, including her team. And they had a couple bobbles, but they didn't get called for them, which is, another whatever the judges see. But they got second out of five, so I was super proud of them. And I mean, they had all day to like relax instead of get up super early and, hop into it. But
Yeah.
I feel like they had a really good time. At the beginning of the season, they were coming in last for everything. I want to say the first three comps. So that was really defeating. But as the season has gone on, they've just gotten better and better. So
That's
we're
good.
pretty happy with them.
The gym overall did really
The
well.
gym did it. It is not that it matters because every single team at the gym got first place except for Iris's team. They got second. But
But
I was
that's
like, you
still
guys
really
got
good.
second out of five. Like there were
Yeah.
four other teams you competed against. So the girls were all happy. None of
Yeah.
them were upset. But yeah, when you see the Facebook post later and it's like first, 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 second, first, first. But I'm really proud of them. I thought they did great.
I thought
So
they looked great.
they did have a couple bobbles, but
That's
they
okay.
made it work.
They did.
They're still young too. They're minis, so they
Well,
age between like what 7 and 9, 6 and 9.
and a lot of them just aged up to minis, right?
Yeah,
So,
we have a lot of we're a young team.
yes. And I do think that that makes a difference too.
They're only going to get better, especially if they stay together.
Yes. Yeah. Um, so my weekend, like I said, it was really humbling.
hmm
I hip hop was great.
Yeah,
So I'll start with that. Hip hop was really, really wonderful. We went against another team that we'll actually see at All Star Worlds
that's
in
super cool.
Orlando. And I don't know what our score was and what the other team scored. I'd like to know that. I'm sure that there's like someone from our team that's already dug up the scoring from
Yeah,
the
you're
weekend.
gonna have to hit up Amanda.
Yeah, she'll know for
Yeah,
sure. Um, but we did come in first. Um, and that was great. Cheer, I thought my attitude all day was fine, but in hindsight, I probably could have just had a better attitude. And by the time Molly's cheer team was the last cheer team from our group to compete, and they ended up scoring great. They won
I thought
first
they
out of
did
three
really well.
teams. They scored a 96. They had the eighth highest score of the entire comp.
That's awesome.
Yes. Um, so there's one part where Molly goes up in what's called a lib, which is like one girl stands behind her and lifts her up, and she takes one leg and she holds it up in like where her knees out and the other leg
Yeah.
straight. You know what a lib is.
hmm
I didn't know what a lib is until somebody told me like a month ago. Um, but the girl that held her up, I honestly think that she was very excited for the comp because she had family in the audience that isn't usually in the audience.
Okay.
And again, I was very clouded and like sometimes it takes me a minute to be called on my bullshit, but
Mm-hmm.
I will sit and reflect and listen to it.
You're right.
Um and I definitely needed uh, honestly I needed slapped across the face this weekend
Yeah.
after that. So Molly got hurt. I could see it in her face. So this girl lifted her up and did not sit her back down. Instead, Molly
Just,
was up in the air and she just let her go.
yeah.
Um, and Molly landed on her feet. So it wasn't a fall.
Mm-hmm.
I did think that we were going to get a deduction for it because it was not graceful.
Right.
And Molly's face afterwards was shitty. Like,
Yeah.
even Molly was like, oh gosh, my face was dirty after that. But then the entire that happens within the first 30 seconds of the routine.
Mm.
So the other 2 minutes of the routine are completely clouded for me. One,
Because,
to make sure that my daughter was okay.
yeah.
Because as those cheerleaders, as we know, cheerleaders could break an ankle on that
Oh, yeah.
stage.
Absolutely.
They could vomit all over that stage and they will finish that
Yep.
routine. It's
Keep
what they've
going.
been trained to do.
Yep.
So I had no idea the extent that like Molly was hurting, but I could tell on her face that she was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see what everyone else saw.
Yeah.
And that is a great routine. And honestly, I haven't even come out of my bullshit enough to like go back and watch it.
It did look really good. I thought they did a great job. And I was following Molly and didn't even notice that.
You're not
So
the
I
only
feel
one
like
that
I
said
need to
that.
watch a playback of the video because sometimes watching in slow-mo really
Mm,
helps me. Like the bobbles that my girls had, like I didn't notice it till
yeah.
watched it back in slow-mo. So,
I have
because I
another
thought Molly was
friend.
giving good facials too. Like she was sticking
Oh,
her tongue out and mean mugging, but now I'm like, maybe that's why those were her
she
facials.
she was for sure mean mugging.
Yeah.
Um, but I have another friend that said the same thing. They were like, I watch Molly because for the same reason that when her daughter performs, I
Hmm.
watch her daughter. It's
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, that's the friend that I have on the team, you
Yep.
know? Um, and she was like, I just did not see that. But afterwards, I said some really hateful things to people because of my feelings.
Mm.
And nobody necessarily called me out. Well, one of my other friends that I wasn't even saying hateful things to was like, Kate. Um, but I went back later and I texted the people and was like, I'm really sorry. And one woman was like, no, you're fine. Everybody's entitled to their feelings, but I really don't feel like that's how she felt. And that's okay. That's how she addressed it.
Yeah.
But another woman was like, I think that, like, I appreciate that you apologized. I think that what you said was really hurtful and you took away a lot from those girls and it wasn't fair. And
Mm.
the information got back to the coach, and the coach called me on my bullshit too the
Yeah.
next day and was like, I don't think that this is who you are, but I was really disappointed to hear it. And it was definitely humbling.
Hmm.
Um, and I told the coach, I was like, you won't hear it again. Like,
Right.
I learned a lesson. It's not who I want to be
Yeah.
as a person. It's not who I want to be as a mom. It's not who I want to be to the rest of those kids on that team. Like,
Right.
um, or to those parents on that team, like
Hmm.
I do care about those kids. I
Yeah.
do care about those parents. And so the whole experience was just like a lesson of just in your anger,
Right.
sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You just let your emotions get the better of you.
I really did.
And that
And
happens.
it does, but it's not an excuse when it comes to like
Well, the
kids.
good thing is you realized it. Other parents were able to talk to you and you reflected and went back on it,
Yeah.
like made the apology.
Yeah. And that's sometimes really hard to do.
Exactly.
Um, Not that I'm like, oh, I'm so good because I did that, but like it's
It's hard to admit that you were wrong.
well, and when I've described this weekend. It's the only words I can come up with where it's a humbling weekend because
I think that's the perfect way to put it.
it really was just
It
like,
was a
God, Kate, you
lesson.
were an idiot. Like, so do you ever have like a situation that you went through and then you'll play it out on repeat in your head
Oh, yes.
and like how
Wishing you
things,
could have done it different or you could rewind and
yes.
absolutely.
And sometimes those moments are like moments of humbleness
Mm-hmm.
where you're like, oh gosh, this was not my best foot forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes those moments are embarrassing and you're like,
They're hard, but it's a lesson.
mm-hmm.
And like you're gonna be better for it now.
I hope so.
As Hallmark as that sounds.
I love Hallmark.
Oh, good. Me too.
Give me a Hallmark Christmas movie like
Can it
in
be
July
Christmas right now?
without the presents.
But I'm glad without the presents.
I'm still recovering.
um, I think having a humbling weekend like that is good though. Like it's hard, but it's good. It's a good lesson. And the
Yeah,
girls did so good. I thought they did great.
I hope so. They
They
are
did.
going to go to some summit. They don't know that yet. I
Oh,
was
really?
like,
They don't
oh
know?
gosh, should I say that on the pod yet? But by the time this is released, they'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know that we are accepting the summit bid. They
I
find out
didn't realize
tonight.
that.
Yeah, they're going to find out tonight at practice. So, one thing, when we talked last week as a team,
Hmm.
I was like, I feel like this team has gotten stripped of like surprises
Yeah.
um, for different things and other reasons. And like, it's just, I'm like, they should get a surprise too.
Yeah.
Um, so they obviously they know they have the bid, but they really have no idea if we're
That they're
accepting the bid or
going.
not.
They're gonna be so excited.
I hope so. So now we're trying to come up with everything for that.
When is Summit? It's
May.
in May. You don't have to give the specific date. It's just it's in May.
It's early May, like
Okay.
the second week. It is kind of over a weekend, so
Hmm.
Molly only has to miss a few days of school.
That's good.
Um, I was texting my friend Sarah and Ray yesterday about something. Oh, we started a flower fundraiser. And those two, if there's anybody I can sell flowers to, it's those two
Oh,
ladies.
good.
I love them. But Ray, I put it on Facebook and Ray was like, I am struggling to not buy every flower that Molly has.
They are very pretty.
They are pretty. And Sarah texted back and was like, well, don't go online because there's more options than what's on the flyer.
Oh, because yeah, there's a shopping link.
Yeah.
I haven't
And
posted it yet, but they are pretty.
you need to because we only have a couple weeks on that one.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, well, buy all the flowers because we just found out that we're going to Summit too. So,
Right.
So
Help me, I'm poor. I'm just kidding.
no, but like,
Cheers, expensive.
but does anybody want to sponsor Molly for Summit? Because we need that too.
So you're going to Florida times two.
Florida times two.
Woofed.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm going to Florida 0.
But Sarah was like, how do you do that with school?
Yeah.
And I was like, we're seriously like struggle busing this year because, oh goodness. I already did. I'm so sorry.
No, keep going. It's fine.
For our listeners, Amira kind of woke up and
Yeah, she's been napping. They've probably been hearing her snore because
probably, but I looked right at her.
yeah.
Fine. So I lost it. Oh, school. Yeah. We were talking about school, and I was like, we had done really fine until Molly got flu A after Jam Fest when all of those girls went down on the mini team. Molly had hung out with the mini team because honestly, like a lot of my friends are mini moms.
Well, we're pretty cool, you know.
You are pretty cool.
Thank you.
So I hang out with all the mini moms, and then Molly hangs out with those teams, and she got flu A the week of Martin Luther King Day and missed
Yeah.
all 4 days of school that week.
Honestly, that was the plague for
Yeah.
the children.
Oh gosh, she
Like,
had a fever.
yeah,
She started her fever on on Martin Luther King Day, and she didn't come out of it until Friday.
yeah. Yeah, Iris woke up on Sunday, Jam Fest Day, which it was good that they were already out of school that Monday
Mm-hmm.
because of the holiday, but she was miserable for 3 days.
Yeah, she had to perform sick.
Yeah.
That mini team, there were like
Honestly,
6 of them that performed
that was
sick.
one of their best performances at Jam Fest, I
You
feel.
placed at Jam Fest, didn't you?
Yeah, they got third.
Third, which is a great
Yeah, third out
accomplishment.
of six.
Yeah.
It was, they did, and they were so, I don't remember what the percent, like the difference was from the second team, but it was close.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, because my daughter's coach texted right before they went on, and she was like, hey, she's not feeling well. You guys can go home. She doesn't have to stay for awards. Like, so then I was panicking. I was right beside you actually right before we went on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, my kid's sick. She's going down. But she came off that. She didn't have it on her face. You couldn't
No,
tell.
you couldn't. They were great performers.
So,
We had a girl at America's Best that was vomiting all day,
mm,
and she got on that stage, and you would not have known that she probably vomited right before she went on stage and right after she went on stage,
it's
and you didn't
amazing.
know.
It's amazing what these athletes do.
Yeah.
So, school,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
missing.
So we're missing. She's at 6 days right now because we had to take a day for Kalahari.
Yeah.
And then she's going to miss 4 days at Worlds, which puts her at 10. And then 3 days at Summit, which puts her at 13. So if I get a call from the school, I'm really sorry. It's cheer.
I'm really sorry it's cheer.
Ugh. Oh, let's talk about school for a minute because I have a bone to pick.
I want to hear about this bone you'd like to pick with school.
And it's not with school because I love my daughter's school. They actually have to switch schools next year.
That's a bummer.
It is because it's their last year of elementary school, but they're redistricting our town.
Is Molly going into seventh grade next year?
Wait, what?
You said it's last year of elementary school.
It will be their last year of elementary school
Oh,
next year.
next
She's
year. So
going
my
into
brain,
fifth grade.
my mom brain was like not picking that up.
No,
So sorry. I
the
was like,
girls
wait
are
a
going into
second.
fifth grade. Don't
Okay.
put seventh grade on me.
I'm so sorry. That's so far away.
Oh my gosh, I just had a mini panic attack.
So sorry.
Uh,
Okay. School.
School. So Molly and Macy are very different kids.
Absolutely.
Very different kids. And academically, they're different kids.
Mhm.
And Macy she is very like, I don't want to disappoint adults. So she is motivated. She is my discipline motivated kid.
Okay. Love that for her and for you.
Samesies. Molly is my social, just school is another social activity. I'm very aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Her teachers in the past have been very aware of that. We really had the best teacher last year for her. She and I had a moment. That was a big burpee.
Excuse me, ma'am.
We had a moment at parent teacher conference last year that was just like a turning point for her and I, and what Molly was how to keep Molly engaged in education, and help her through everything. And Molly finished the year really, really well. Like,
Good.
Yeah, she did a great job. This year, we put her with a teacher that I really thought was going to be great for Molly, and it has turned out to not be.
Were you able to pick her teacher?
So you can put in requests.
Oh, okay. Yes,
and
I did know that.
My request did align with what her teacher from last year had said.
Okay.
And I've been, if I'm being honest, like, I've been really disappointed, and I understand that this could get back to her, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
I
I love that
left.
you're like, I will stir the pot. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
it's not even stirring the pot. It's just like advocating for my kid.
Yeah.
Um, I left parent teacher conference literally crying,
No.
because she basically, from what I like left with, right
Hmm.
or wrong, I felt like she was like, your kid's a lost hope. Like,
Oh my
she's here to
gosh.
socialize and grades are just whatever, which could be the case, but what can you as an educator
Right.
do
How
to
can
like
you
help
help
that? And
guide
if
her?
you have a parent that's saying, I understand that all of the extra stuff cannot be put on teachers.
Right.
Like, I do get
A
that.
thousand percent.
But if you have a parent that's active and engaged and saying, like, I want to help you,
Hmm.
but I don't know what you need from me, you have to like tell them, right?
Right.
So there's been a few times throughout the year that I've been like, hey, I'm concerned with Molly about this. And she's like, it'll be fine. Or Molly will come home and be like, the people that I sit around, I can't stay focused.
Hmm.
So I'll message the teacher and be like, hey, like there's this one time she's having this problem with this one girl. Let's call her Lucy. Her name's not Lucy.
Yeah.
And let's call the other girl Anna. Her name is not Anna.
Right.
She's sitting next to Lucy, but she struggles to focus anytime she's around Lucy or Anna.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, Molly really needs to be moved. Can you make sure she's nowhere near Lucy or Anna? And the reply back is, she's not near Anna.
But doesn't say the other name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, I understand that she's not near Anna.
Yeah.
I knew that going into the email. But could you please not put her, like, I don't want you to move her from Lucy and put her by Anna.
Right.
Because then the same problem
Is gonna occur.
exists. Like,
Yeah.
can you just put her someplace? And I don't want to tell you how to manage your classroom, but I'm
Right.
also telling you that my daughter's telling me she can't focus because of Lucy and Anna.
Yeah.
You can put her on an island somewhere if you
I
need
was gonna say,
to,
why not just, yeah.
but can you just move her away from Lucy and Anna? And no follow up.
That's disappointing.
It is. And so I also got an ADHD screener for her because I do see some of that in her.
Right.
And those screeners that the doctors give you, you fill out a copy and then their teacher fills out a copy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to send this to her teacher from last year and her teacher from this year. And her teacher from this year during parent teacher conferences this year, I got like a very strong vibe of like, don't medicate your kid for ADHD.
Yeah.
Don't treat them for it. That's like a made up thing. And sure as shit, Molly, like the difference between the two screeners are night and day. You look at the one from last year and you're like, oh, this kid is like ADHD.
Yeah.
And you look at the one from this year and it's like, she's fine.
Yeah.
Now, how? When
She's
her
just
grades were
oblivious to
better
it.
last year because she
Yeah.
had a teacher that helped her and engaged the parents at home.
Yeah.
But this year it's like I'm having to go and ask the teacher, like, what more can I do? Like, I am honestly afraid that Molly will have to go to summer school for iLearn
Hmm.
if we don't turn things around.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you have a teacher, if you have a parent that you know has been engaged all year and is active on Parent Square and like reaching out to you,
Right.
why wouldn't you reach out to them and be like, hey, I need you to do XYZ at home with your kid?
Hmm. Well, and all kids are different. Like, you have to be able to give them the tools that they
Yes.
need to help them learn, and like not expect everyone to be the exact same crown in this box.
Oh,
Like,
no.
they're all different
Yeah.
and they learn different ways. So that's defeating.
It's very defeating. So I'm in this state of irritation with her teacher
Yeah.
because, and what do you do? Like, I don't want the teacher to resent Molly and me for the rest of the year because it's like we're coming in the home stretch.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I want my kid to pass iLearn and
Yeah.
not have to go to summer school all
Yeah, we've
summer.
got to do something to help her.
And we got to turn this around. And also, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but she's going to miss another
Yeah.
6 days of school.
Sorry.
So could you just help us out?
Yeah. Well, I hope that she gives you guys the help that Molly needs.
I do too. Mm,
It's a bummer.
it is a bummer. Speaking of which, I need to submit another like, hey, my kid's going to miss these days of school for a summit because
See,
it's a prearranged absence.
I'm so glad that I am not having to deal with
No, just wait.
Cheer. I know that's because she's still young.
Just wait.
Cheer's not really interfered with Iris's school at all. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the only day she missed was that Friday for the drive to Kalahari. Every other day she was there. Or like I picked her up early,
Yeah.
but not like, super early.
Yeah, we do. Like, make it till lunchtime
Yeah.
and then we'll leave.
Yeah.
And they don't miss too much on a Friday afternoon,
Oh, yeah, no. It's
especially
kind of
with
a
the
play
weather
day.
being like this.
Well, and that Friday that they did miss, it was Valentine's Day. So they were having like
Oh,
parties and stuff going on that day, anyways.
I forgot
But
it was Valentine's Day
it
that Friday.
was Valentine's Day.
Molly has to miss a field trip for when we're at All Star Worlds. She's really bummed.
What is the field trip?
It's to Indy Motor Speedway.
Oh,
And Michael is going to chaperone for Macy's class.
that's so fun.
So when Jake was in 4th grade, Michael had signed up to chaperone this field trip and it got canceled because that was COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't chaperoned a field trip since. So this year he signed up to chaperone this one and they spin a wheel. So of all the parent volunteers, they only can take 2 per class.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
they spun a wheel yesterday and Michael's name came up first and Macy is
Over
over
the
the
moon.
moon.
Love that.
But then came home today. She was like, "Do you think Dad's going to be okay chaperone?" Like he does know that he has a whole group, and I was like, "If he can coach a team,
He can
he can chaperone a field trip
for sure.
They may be like doing team chants by the end of
Right.
the field trip, but like
I
it'll
love that.
be
He and Macy are gonna have the best time.
yes."
Poor
And I
Molly.
think he'll have fun with her friends. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think the way it works is like the teacher usually tries to put friend groups together because
yeah.
it's a little bit easier to
Manage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll be fun.
it should be. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the stories. Just
You're gonna have a good time.
mhm.
And you guys are gonna have a great time is that during Summit or Worlds?
That's Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be here before you know it.
Yeah, it's like a month away.
Baba.
I do have planes.
Planes.
Plane tickets.
I have planes.
I have planes. I have plane tickets for Worlds and I have my hotel room. Well, we're staying with other people. I need to pay the other person that we're staying with, but yes, I have that arranged. Summit, I have nothing arranged. I'm like,
well, it doesn't exist yet because you haven't told the girls.
Yeah.
So,
but I am like sweaty thinking about that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sell them flowers.
Sell them flowers.
Sell them flowers, Kate.
If anybody needs bouquet
Spring
arrangements
flowers.
that lives near us.
I'm like
because they're
link in the description.
They're not shippable to other states quite yet.
Oh, they're not. Okay. The mums were.
No, they were not.
Oh, I don't know why I thought they were.
No, the only thing that has been is the wreaths.
Mm.
Maybe you were thinking about that one.
Yeah. I didn't do the wreaths.
Oh.
But
yeah.
Until next time.
Oh, are we done? Amir is awake. So we're done.
What you got?
I don't know.
What's on your list?
So I think that we should just talk for a second about like the reception that we got from the first couple episodes because I thought that was really exciting.
That was really exciting.
Yeah.
Because we just did it.
We just did it. we have big dreams of edits and everything and intros and exits,
And
and
we're gonna get there.
we will get there, but we did just record and we just put it out there. And I think that that was really exciting. And um, I had people, so we got it out Friday and
Mm-hmm.
we are on YouTube and Spotify primarily. We're
Yeah,
trying to figure out Apple.
we will. We're gonna have
Um,
it figured out this week.
we are. Interesting with Apple, you have to like have an Apple ID to post to Apple Podcasts. And I didn't want, while we both have Apple IDs, I didn't
Right.
want to just post under
You're fine.
one of our Apple IDs. Um, so I'm trying to create one just for,
The podcast.
yes. Um, but I had people stop us. I don't know if you did. I had people stop me at the comp this weekend that were, I listened to your
Yeah,
podcast
I
and
did too. And then giving like pointers, but being excited about it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And our biggest feedback was
the
definitely
sound.
the sound. Um, I had a really sweet text message from one of, um, like it's a, it's somebody's wife that Michael hangs out with
Mm-hmm.
regularly. And every time I talk to her, I'm like, why don't I hang out with her more often?
I think you shared that message with me.
I did. And
Yeah.
it was just really sweet. It was about, she works in HR for a company. And so she reads a lot of resumes and cover letters. And she was like, you just need to be more transparent in like what you said on the podcast
Right.
into your cover letter. And that feels really vulnerable for,
Employers.
yes.
I was trying to make sure my
Um,
brain was going to say that correctly.
but I don't think she's necessarily wrong. It's just finding a way to add that
Right.
because your cover letter, you kind of want it to be like, here's all these great things about me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk about like grief and
Trying to make it more personal.
yeah, that's
But
hard.
it was a really exciting day Friday. We had lots of good feedback.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
And
Saturday.
there were lots of people that told me they listened to the podcast and I was like, "What? You?"
Yeah.
They were like, "Yeah, I listened to it."
Yeah.
So,
Did one of the coaches say anything to you?
no.
So one of the coaches said something about it to me that they had started to listen to it. And
Yeah.
it was the male coach at the gym.
Oh, I lied to you. They did say
That one
something.
said something
Sorry, I
too?
didn't think about that. When I think coach, I guess, sorry, I think about like the cheer coaches.
Yeah.
The teams.
Yeah.
So,
He's
yeah.
a tumbling coach.
Yeah, he's a tumbling coach. But yeah,
Yeah.
I did. He reached out to me too.
I thought
Yeah.
that was really kind.
It was sweet.
And honestly, like, not in a bad way, but I was surprised that of all of the coaches that he was the one that started to listen to it.
Yeah. No, it was very sweet.
Yeah. Because you think like you're going to be more relatable to
Women,
women.
moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also, so I had gone back to listen to them
Same.
and I was really nervous about my Michael stories.
I know.
I was like, oh gosh.
No, I think they were fine.
And he was too. He was like, no, it's fine. Like, you're fine.
Yeah. It was funny because when I sent my husband the link Friday morning, I was talking to him on the phone and he was like, okay, I'm going to talk to you later. I got to listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was nervous for no reason other than like, oh my gosh, he's going to judge.
He's going to listen
But
to
he
us.
was so sweet. After he had listened to both of them, he called back with like pointers and notes. And I was like, you're just the best. Thank you.
That's really
He
sweet.
was like, you guys need to have like a little music intro.
I agree with him.
What else did he say? He had such good tips.
Yeah.
He's a sweetie pie sometimes.
I love that. You're like kidding, joking.
No, he is. He is a sweetie pie. He's
Where
pretty
are you
excited about
going?
it though. She's got places to be. Mira's favorite thing currently, she's 7 months old, and her favorite thing is to pull herself up to standing. And most of the time she's only there for all of like 10, 15 seconds. She's getting better though. And then she falls over.
She's
Yeah,
big shit.
She's about to come. She's like, Mom, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up to this couch.
Yeah.
She has places to go.
I love
I'm
that.
wondering because all kids are different. Iris didn't walk till she was 13 months old.
Oh, same with Jake.
But I'm like, Amira, yeah, you. She's like, I got places to be.
She's going to skip through some of the other phases
I
and
think
just
so.
go to walking.
Yeah. Are you coming?
I feel like youngest babies do that.
Because they have their
Yeah.
older siblings to watch.
Yeah. And as moms, while we carry them places and everything, it's like we don't carry them everywhere
Right.
like we did our first babies.
Yeah. Yep, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very much in the state of flow. The
I love
state
that.
of flow.
Well,
Mama.
I guess since she is up and moving, we can be all set for today.
I feel like today was a great day.
It was. We talked a lot about cheer.
We'll have to get back to the home life next time.
Yeah.
Juggling it all.
Yeah. We
Even
did talk about being humbled, and we talked about teachers. So
overall, it was really good. And not dying. And did you see that there actually was a tornado touchdown?
yes, it was like 11
like,
miles.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
We talked about the
it was
storm,
like 11
but
miles from where we were. So
there was an actual tornado. We survived.
We did survive.
And I low-key slept through it.
I wasn't allowed to. Had I not been in the hotel that had to. So this was my second evacuation at a hotel around
Really?
5 o'clock in the morning. Yes. When I used to work, I used to have to travel about once a month to New Jersey. It was supposed to be once a quarter, but I think we usually ended up going about once a month. And one time I got woken up at it was 5 o'clock in the morning for a fire alarm. There was smoke from an oven or something in the kitchen, and they had to evacuate the hotel. And my boss, who I was traveling with, slept right through it all.
That's crazy.
She just didn't even. I was talking to her about it the next morning. I was like, I didn't see you in the evacuation. I saw so-and-so, I saw so-and-so, but I didn't see you. And she was like, what evacuation?
Right. She was like, I was asleep.
I was like, excuse me? And she was like, I didn't, for real? And I was like, okay, so next time
I'm calling you.
I'm probably going to need
show up at the door.
Some kind of entrance into your hotel room to be like,
we got to go.
You've got to get up. Because they went through, not only did they come over the intercom, they went through and banged on doors.
Really?
Yes.
See, I couldn't have slept through that. If someone was banging on my door.
Yeah. Because, a fire.
Yeah, you got to get people out.
You got to get people out.
Yeah.
And they had no idea at the time
where it was.
Or where. Yeah. And they did. The firemen came through and banged on all the doors.
That is so crazy that you've been in 2 hotels.
With evacuation. I know.
It's amazing.
I would like to never do that again.
I hope to never cross that off my bucket list.
When I worked at my old company, we did vacations, and this is terrible.
It's not terrible.
No, it really is a terrible way to end the podcast. But I'm so glad I didn't have to live through this. So there was, you may have remembered it, a sinkhole in Orlando.
Yeah. And
it took part of a resort. And one of those resorts were ones that we traded, and had a lot of phone calls. And I'm pretty sure they had evacuated that part of the property beforehand. But we got a lot of phone calls that next day that was I'm pretty sure I'm booked there and I don't want to go. And I'm yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. We'll get you out of there.
We'll figure out.
Yeah. Go somewhere else.
Something. But
that's crazy.
I can't imagine waking up. And again, I only say this because I'm pretty confident no one was hurt in that. But it's one thing to wake up to a tornado drill, another thing to wake up to a fire drill.
But yeah, a sinkhole.
A sinkhole?
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Part of it just
terrifying.
I do that too much.
I was about to say, I'm going to go back and listen to this and count how many times you go, huh.
It's probably really gross for our listeners. I'll work on that, guys.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Because we're not dying.
I was going to say we're not dying. We're moms.
We're moms.
It's fine. Until next time.
Until next time, I appreciate you.
I love you, Kate.
Aw, I love you too, Molly.